The thing is, your perception of me is completely on you. If you perceive me to be sexy, I could be wearing a burlap sack and you could still think I'm sexy.
True.
So your perception of me is none of my business. I will bring things to a certain level of class, right? I'm not going to do something super risque or provocative, purposely soliciting for a certain kind of attention. But when I do things specifically classy, if you find that sexy, of course, like I'm a good looking woman. I don't have to do anything extra, if that makes sense. I won't dim myself down, but I also won't go out of my way to solicit negative attention.
What's going on, family? Welcome to the P.A.S.S podcast, where we prevail against self-sabotage. Proudly sponsored by Project Icon. I'm your host, Mo Nelson. Let's go!
Won't too long and you had went against that grain. Had to go and get that fade. Waiting on visitation today.
What's going on, family? Mo Nelson checking in with that P.A.S.S podcast, where we prevail against self-sabotage. Proudly sponsored by Project Icon. Thank you very much. Today, I got a phenomenal guest, y'all. I'm talking about a woman who wears many hats. I'm talking for what? Real estate agent, military veteran that served, went on 3 tours. Actually a beautiful model. I'm talking about everything, all the above. And today she is here to grace the P.A.S.S podcast. Welcome, Miss Katie Logan.
Thank you.
How you doing, Miss Katie?
Me. I'm doing great, thank you.
Feeling good?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have you on the
Happy
show.
to be here.
Yeah, well overdue. I've been scouting you for a
Yes.
minute now. You finally made it, so thank you so much.
Course.
All right. So let's jump right in. Okay. So before the titles and the success, who is Katie Logan at her core, the woman that's behind the mission?
Okay. I guess we'll start with childhood.
Okay.
Then I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania on a farm with farm animals, lots of siblings, just country, super strict parents,
Really?
everything like that.
Okay.
And I had a desire to go, to travel, to see the world. And so as early as I can remember in high school, I was just driven for more. I wanted more. I didn't want the typical route. I was just motivated to go somewhere else. And so I ended up joining the military at 18, and that was the formative years as an adult. And that took me all over the world. That is kind of what formed me. My childhood formed me, but the military really formed me from my adult years. Yes.
Got you. How many siblings did you grow up with?
I have 4 brothers and 1 sister.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes.
So 6 in total.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. And as far as the way you grew up on the farm, like, did you do like the normal farm duties, like late crop, stuff like that?
Yes, we did crops. We had livestock, so cows, goats, pigs, chickens, dogs. My mom's a dog breeder, so it was full-time work every day, every summer.
Yeah.
Chopping wood, you name it.
That's what's up. No, that's
Yes.
awesome. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing that. Okay. All right, so when people hear your name, they see confidence and expertise. But what's something they didn't see that helped shape the version of you today? Is it the farm you just alluded to, or is it something more?
I would say that maybe my childhood and the way I was raised might not be obvious to people because of all the experiences I've had in my life. I got away from maybe who I would appear to be if I just had grown up and stayed there. So my experiences and the diversity that I've experienced all over the world, I would say gave me a little bit more ways to communicate with different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. And by you being in the military, I'm assuming you've been to multiple countries
Yes.
in the world, right? So at all levels, what was your favorite country to visit?
I always love Switzerland and Italy. Those are like 2 top favorites for just purely aesthetics. I've been to 34 countries. Japan was just my 34th that I hit
congrats.
In July. But Italy and Switzerland are so gorgeous. I'm always a sucker for a tropical place, but those 2 are some of the most beautiful places in the world.
How's the people there? Are they very sympathetic, friendly, high vibrant? What?
It just depends on the area that you
Oh,
go
yeah?
to. Yeah.
All right. It's pretty
Yeah.
typical everywhere, right?
Yeah, it changes always.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's funny you mentioned Japan because I actually had a lady of Asian descent on the show, And I think, was that her who was talking about somewhere about Japan, that Japan's so safe to where like little kids are out in the street at 3 a.m. in the morning. Did you witness that?
I didn't necessarily witness like small children, but I definitely noticed there is a more feeling of safety in the streets.
Really?
Like there's not, you could get up and go walk to the convenience store at 3 a.m. as by yourself and not have to worry about stuff.
Wow.
But I guess I don't necessarily experience the same luxuries that people that are like maybe smaller, or I'm a bigger woman, you know,
right.
and I don't necessarily feel like I'm always threatened, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Is that because like your stature when you were 6 foot, right?
yes.
6 foot, what, about 215?
I'm 5'11", like 185.
185? Oh, okay, my bad. I ain't mean, not saying that you better now. I just thought, you know what I mean? All right, I'm sorry, Katie. Forgive me.
I'll forgive you this time.
Forgive me. All right. On to the next question, man. All right. So, okay, like you alluded to, you was in the military. What drew you to the military in the first place, and how did you experience the benefit? Excuse me, I'm sorry. What drew you in the military in the first place, and how did that experience benefit you?
Okay. So my draw to the military was actually pretty non-traditional. I had a dream.
Really? Let's talk about it.
Yes. So I was 17, senior, and they're always pushing you to go to college. I had applied to some art schools, culinary school. Nothing felt right.
Okay.
And one night I seriously had a dream about the Air Force and joining the Air Force. I never heard of it. I heard of the Army and the Marines, of course. And so the next day I Googled Air Force recruiting office, and there was one 30 minutes away. And I made an appointment, and it was literally a prophetic dream to join the military. Very bizarre. That was the first prophetic dream that I have memories of, to where I had no knowledge of the Air Force prior to that. Ended up joining. And what was the second part of the question?
And how did it benefit you, that experience? How did it benefit you?
It set me up for a super successful life. I mean, joining active duty, there are a ton of benefits that you will get after your first enlistment. VA home loan, you could get disability if you suffer injuries from the military. The GI Bill, so you can get education paid for by the military. I got all of my certifications, a bachelor's degree, all this covered from the military after I separated active duty.
Wow.
So it really set me up.
Wow. The more and more you list all the benefits, the more and more I feel like a fool.
You're not a fool. It's not
Why
for
did I join
everybody.
the military?
It's not for everybody, though.
Yeah, I went to prison instead. But all right, okay. all right, got you. All right. So as far as the Air Force, so that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that dealing with the aerial territory, right? So you know how to like fly planes and stuff?
I do not know how to fly planes, no.
Oh, no?
So the Air Force is in charge of air power. So, but that does encompass every job that would facilitate getting airplanes in the air. So I'm security forces by trade, so military police.
Okay, police, okay.
Yes, so we protect the planes, we protect the base assets, guard the gate, anything that's happening on base, like disputes amongst people. That is security forces.
Gotcha.
We have a lot of different roles that we could work depending on where you're stationed.
Got you.
But the Air Force does have all the jobs that any other branch would have. Our just mission is air power to support airplanes.
Got you. So basically, you're domestic. Like you are in charge of the military, like people, the participants, the active duty soldiers in the military, making sure everything's going steady, no fighting, no anything illegal.
Correct. Protecting the base, protecting the people.
So you're protecting the base from the military.
Or outsider threats, people trying to infiltrate the base.
Okay. Got you. I appreciate. Thank you for clearing that up. All right. So, being a woman in a male-dominated environment takes a different kind of emotional intelligence. We got to talk about that. That's my thing. Right?
Sure.
How did you stand firm without losing your sense of self?
There's definitely a lot of trial and error growing up into a male-dominated career field. I wouldn't say that I was sure of myself or found my way until probably my late 20s. The rest of the time, you were just getting trial by fire, if you will. And I feel like you grow yourself you prove that you're capable of doing your job, prove that you don't need help, that you can carry your own weight, and that earns you respect. And then just how you carry yourself amongst everybody. Like, I'm one of you, I don't need special assistance, I can do what you do, and that in turn will earn you respect.
Yeah, I got you. So how do you feel about if dudes are doing like the natural male to woman gestures, small things like holding the door for you or, waiting on you and treating you like a lady? Did you feel like, you know what, this is not that, I don't need that. I'm a soldier. I'm not a woman, I'm a soldier. Like how did you feel about that?
I feel, and feel free to speak up in the comments if you don't agree with this, but once you get to a certain point with being in the military, they kind of treat you like a bro. You don't necessarily get those customs and courtesies that you might get as a woman in the civilian world. Not always, but security forces is a very rough around the edges career field.
Got you.
I wouldn't necessarily say that you get treated like a lady. You get treated like a brother.
Got you. So it's intriguing because you are a very gorgeous woman. So how did you like emasculate your beauty to just not be a distraction? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you're still a woman, you're still a female, and it's just natural by law. Male and female are going to attract each other once in the presence, especially when there's commonalities involved. And by you being in the military, there is a common factor in it that you're willing to fight for your country. So there's some patriotism involved. So how did you like just emasculate the beauty to not be a distraction towards your fellow male peers?
I would start by saying I obviously don't look like this in uniform. My hair is in a bun. We have regulations that we have to follow, conservative makeup, no lipstick, all that stuff. Okay. So bringing down the extras, if you will, and then I never have lowered myself to stop the male gaze because at the end of the day, like you said, there's going to be natural attraction regardless, and especially when you're in close quarters. You just have to stand your ground and not tolerate it.
Gotcha.
Just put an end to it immediately. Like if you see something getting weird, just like, no, that's not going to fly here. Negative.
Has that ever happened to you before?
Of course.
It got weird?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, let's switch it. Let's flip it because it's not always the man, being weird toward the woman. Like, be honest, kid. Like, did you ever have a strong inclination to a male peer and you was being a little weird and like you kind of liked them and they had to set the boundaries for you? Had ever? Nah, you was strictly.
No.
You was strictly. Got you. All right, cool. All right, okay. All right, so in those tough moments in the military, when you were tested, what inner voice kept you from breaking? Because I know you experienced like strenuous boot camps and serving on the tours, which I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to all the veterans, man. Appreciate the service, man. Without you guys, we wouldn't have the luxury and the freedom to do what we're doing today. So my heart, special thanks. But yeah, so how did you, What
was the inner voice?
Yeah.
A huge part of it is I never just wanted to be seen as a quitter. I'm very much a follow through. And although things get difficult, at the end of the day, I'm like, I feel in my heart that this is the right path that I'm on. So everything is going to work out at the end of the day. And I don't know, I'm very like bullheaded and stubborn. When I decide I'm going to do something, I'm going to see it through, like no matter how difficult it is.
Yeah.
So my own voice then? Yeah.
So you don't have anything. All right, so let's take out the military. Let's talk about in the business and professional work because you are an entrepreneur and you are a professional. So as you know, things can be tough in the entrepreneurial journey and as a professional. So when things are not going as desired, things are breaking down. Sometimes our emotions get the best of us. We can get overwhelmed in our own thoughts and our own emotions. That you don't hear any voice that's like, hey, Katie, like, get the hell up, don't quit. Like David Goggins, for example, ex-Marine. One of the things he says he does, he talks himself like real brassful, like, get the fuck up, stop being a wuss, push through. Like, do you have something similar?
That's my inner voice 24/7.
Really?
It's constantly like, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah.
You're not doing enough, actually. You need to go get another degree. You need to go start a new business. I'm my own worst critic when it comes to feeling like I haven't done enough or that I should be doing something more always. So I wouldn't say I'm quite David Goggins, stay hard. I'm not out there running until my feet bleed, but I am pretty hard on myself. So that inner voice is every day is like, all right, well, get over it.
And you know what? I feel like that's necessary. It's very essential to human development because, we need that. And I feel like we should be assertive on ourselves. I want to change the word from tough and hard to assertive because I believe in a balance too. You don't want to be too hard on yourself to where like it's overwhelming and you're not patting your own self on the back, because a lot of times even I myself struggle with, we're so focused on we got to do more, I'm not doing enough, but let's look back on the things you did accomplish.
Right.
Prime example, I remember when I didn't have a YouTube channel at all and I was yearning for one. Now I have a YouTube channel, but I catch myself, I don't have this many amount of views. I don't have this amount of videos up. I don't have this amount of many of us subscribers, etc. And it's like, shut the hell up, Mo. You have a YouTube channel with subscribers. Shout out 5,600 and counting, by the way. Just had to throw that out there. But, sometimes, so I feel like it's a balance, but you also don't want to get too complacent to where it's like, okay, the growth ended. No, motherfucker, keep going, keep pushing. You're not at your pinnacle yet because complacency can seep through once you have a little momentum going. So I just feel like just being intentional, being aware, being cognizant of it, and just, talking to yourself. It's just a balance, be assertive on yourself when it's necessary, but also give yourself those flowers because, I mean, it's a blessing and it's a grateful. And then what if you don't have your limbs or your senses to continue doing what you're doing? Now you're going to be like, So it's like, it's about a balance to me. So that's why. Definitely. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you can still celebrate where you're at and how far you've come, but still be yearning for more. It's definitely important to sit back and reflect, like, okay, where was I 3 years ago? Am I a completely different person?
Yeah.
Would the younger version of myself be looking up to where I am now? Yes. Okay, you're doing fine. You're way further ahead than you think you are.
Yeah.
And you're just being really hard on yourself. But somebody has to be.
Yeah.
I have nobody else telling me to do this. Like, at the end of the day, nobody else is going to hold me accountable or like make me strive to reach my goals. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. And right now, are you proud of yourself? Like, going back 3 years from now, if we can assess the 3-year-old Katie to now,
definitely.
Are you
Leaps
proud of
and
yourself?
bounds, yes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But there's still more to come.
Absolutely.
And I'm interested. I want to see it because you glowing, girl. You shining. All right. So you've also built a presence in modeling.
Yes.
A whole completely tired, different world from the military. What has that space taught you about your identity?
Modeling has brought out a self-confidence in me. On top of the confidence that I already built from serving, I just wanted to bring a little bit more light to femininity and celebrating the beauty schools I went to and everything, and just being and feeling like a woman, which is the opposite of what I feel like sometimes in uniform. You're so out there in the field getting after it, you don't get to feel like a woman. And so modeling was a celebration of that, and also just a hobby for me. I love doing it and got published a few times and stuff like that, and it made me feel good. I just enjoyed it.
Yeah. What magazines were you published in?
There were some overseas ones. I'd have to pull them up. I don't remember off the top. Nothing crazy. Nothing like.
I love how you just explained that. That's so beautiful that you, because I get it. Like, being in the male predominant environment where masculinity is at all-time high, you don't want to be weak, so you kind of very intentional what femininity you display on certain bases, and like having the outlet to really be feminine, really be a woman, and to feel free and feel confident. But my question, another question that ties to that, so how do you continue being a model but dimming down the sexuality of it? Like, not like, of course you take sexy photos. I've seen some of your photos and they're amazing, they're sexy, but how do you prevent from being seen as a sexual object?
The thing is, your perception of me is completely on you. If you perceive me to be sexy, I could be wearing a burlap sack and you could still think I'm sexy.
True.
So your perception of me is none of my business. I will bring things to a certain level of class, right? I'm not going to do something super risque or provocative, purposely soliciting for a certain kind of attention. But when I do things specifically classy, if you find that sexy, of course, like, I'm a good looking woman. I don't need to, I don't have to do anything extra, if that makes sense. I won't dim myself down, but I also won't go out of my way to solicit negative attention.
Right. So basically it's like an art. You're just expressing
boudoir,
art.
all that, like the romantic boudoir, classy. at one point I was shooting a little more like provocative boudoir, but
What does that mean, boudoir? What is that?
boudoir is like lingerie
Okay.
shooting. I don't really know what it means.
Sound like a
it's
French word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really know what it means, to be honest.
Okay.
But I noticed the kind of attention it was bringing, and even people don't know how to handle someone being professional and sexy. Like they just think they can't coexist, but they can.
Yeah.
It's like if it makes you feel threatened or uncomfortable, that's not my problem. That's you. I'm not doing anything wrong. So
I'm glad you said that because I have to admit, I'm going to be very transparent. I am a human just like everybody else. I'm a man just like everybody else. Just like every other man out there, right? So when I first got out of prison, I had a hard time adjusting dealing with women because prior I didn't deal with women. I dealt with girls. A girl and a woman is completely two different things. You 16-year-old Katie is not the same as 30-plus-year-old Katie right now, right? So I had this problem to where if a woman was to smile at me and look at me, automatically I think she wants to give me her panties. She likes me. She wants to take it there. And that wasn't the case. Just some people just want to be friendly, want to be nice, want to be a human being, a humanitarian. Just giving you a smile and a nice gesture doesn't necessarily mean she wants you in a sexual manner.
Right.
And it was trial and tribulation that revealed to me that, hey, that's not the case. And now, 36 years old with hell of experience, I realized that that's not true. Just because somebody smiles, a beautiful woman, attractive woman like yourself smiles at you, doesn't necessarily mean you want to take it there. So I'm glad you stated that because a lot of dudes do get that confused. I mean, I'm sure if you're in the gym, because you work out, you're in the gym, they see you, your Amazon tatted up, looking good, blonde. You smile, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Automatically, oh, she wants me. No, I don't. I'm just being kind, being a human, and just, might say something that can lighten your day. Because on the flip side, what women don't understand is that it takes a lot for us men to approach attractive women. You don't know what that person is mustering in their head, the confidence they had to build up just for that moment to just shoot their shot. So, and just because of that, not necessarily mean you have to give them a chance, but there's a way you can deny that person, right? You don't have to be mean, rude, a snob. It's like, you know what? I respectfully decline right now. I'm seeing somebody, even if you're not, I'm not in that headspace right now, but you seem like you have an amazing personality, and maybe in the future, may double back, you might be suitable as of right now. I'm going to respectfully pass. And if you don't do that, you never know, you can have that man commit suicide. And you may seem like it's weak. I don't know how you personally feel about it, but it happens. So for all the women out there, all the beautiful, attractive women, please, if guys are approaching you, please just be a little classy and a little, subtle with denying and telling them no. And guys, if they tell you no, man, just, hey, Katie's beautiful, but there's more beautiful women out there, man. Listen, you'll have your shot. So just keep that under the noggin. But I just had to throw that out there. I'm sorry if I went off cuff.
Oh, you're good.
But all right, let's get back into it. All right, so how do you stay grounded and authentic in the industry that often values appearance over depth? Modeling.
Okay. How do I stay grounded and
authentic? Where appearance is over depth. Like remember I was talking about the sexualized, like they may see your appearance, they just see the beauty, but the nice aesthetic is way more than Katie Logan.
Right.
Like the interior is way more magnitude compared to the exterior. So how do you stay authentic and grounded in that regard?
In more recent time, I've just kind of gone with the more artistic route and shooting stuff that I just identify and feel good with. So it's not really, I'm not doing it for any particular reason to where I would need a certain outcome. So I don't need to, that's me staying grounded, is because if I start doing specific things that don't align with what I believe in or what I would want published of me or out there, then I'm no longer grounded or authentic, and I'm just doing things for money or doing things because I was offered. When I stay within the realm of things that I identify with, make me feel good, make me feel happy and confident, then I'm staying true to myself regardless of if I don't ever get paid or famous off of it. Doesn't matter to me. It's just a art form.
I got you. So let's take back to the military real quick. So when you go back to the military, some people are aware that you model.
Sure.
How do they treat you? Do they treat you any different? Like, do they see you as more of a sexual object, or
They never say it to my face.
Never say it to your face. And if they did, how would you correct them?
I mean, I would love for them to try.
Well, be careful, fellas. Katie's something serious, boy.
I'm not
you
doing
put him like in an arm bar or something.
I'm not doing anything that I cannot justify that is out of Nothing I'm doing is out of regs. Nothing I'm doing is unprofessional. If my femininity and beauty is upsetting to you or intimidating to you, that is not my problem.
Yeah.
It's not. So I've had to work a long way to get to the point, to get to my rank, and I have earned it, and I have all the respect from my coworkers. And I don't feel like anybody would say anything to my face. They haven't ever.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I love that. I love that. What's your rank, if you don't mind?
I'm an E7, a master sergeant.
And that means?
A senior NCO. So there is, in the enlisted corps, there is E1 through E9, and E9 is the top, E1 is the bottom, and I'm an E7.
Okay. So 2 more steps and you're top
Correct.
dog. Are you pursuing that? No? Why? Why not though?
I feel very satisfied with what I've accomplished, and I feel in my heart that I've reached the end of the road with my military service.
Gotcha.
And so in June this year, I will be separating.
All right, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Big congrats to you, Katie.
Thank you.
I love to hear that. All right, so we finna pivot a little bit. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, now, for those who don't know, on social media, sometimes you can be perceived as tough on men, excuse me. Where does that stem from? Why are you so tough on the men, Katie? Talk to us. Brothers, I'm trying to help us out. Man. I'm trying to get out of it. So we want to know what it stems from, why she's like that. We about to hear. Talk to us, Katie.
Okay. So obviously being in a male-dominated career field and pulling my own weight and showing that I can do exactly what you do. And then on top of that, outside of that, building a life for myself, buying a home, starting multiple businesses, running all these careers. I will not settle for anything less than what I deserve. And a lot of people have audacity that they shouldn't. They're living in their mom's basement, or they don't have a job, or they have no education, they're illiterate, and they expect to have access to you just because you're a pretty thing, right? You might be an attractive guy and think, I'm entitled to an attractive woman, but you have nothing going for you. So it is, I'm tough on men because somebody's got to be. Like, there's been too much coddling in this generation. There's been too much male coddling, and it's a disease, and it needs to be ended.
But hold on, okay. Now, I mean, I'm about to stick up for us a little bit. I got to get
Let's
on
hear
it.
it.
Hold on. So, isn't it safe to say the same thing applies to women though? Because a lot of women feel like they're so beautiful, have nice breasts, big butt, pretty face, that they're just entitled with a man that makes a substantial amount of money and has this status and class, but you're not bringing nothing to the table. Because I've experienced that.
Okay, what do you want a woman to bring to the table that you can't provide?
I mean, equivalency, wits.
You want an equal?
It doesn't have to necessarily be 50-50, but I would like you to bring some type of value. Give me something more than just the exterior. I don't never want to feel like I just have to carry all of the load. I feel like some people, and you tell me if you agree with it, some people feel like, a man should pay all the bills. I strongly disagree.
Why?
Because I feel like it's a team. It's a lot of pressure on anybody, not just a man or a female, to be bombarded with all these responsibilities and stuff like that. So I feel like if we're a team, if we're in unison, let's not. Excuse me. It doesn't necessarily have to be split as far as 50-50, but can I get 70-30? Can you contribute to something? I mean, if you see I'm going through some hard time, can you be that solace? And you know what, baby? I'm gonna pick up the slack right here because I know you got all this going on, so I'm gonna just give you less things to worry about.
Okay.
I mean, am I making sense? How you feel about that?
Who handles all of the domestic labor in your household?
It's kind of, as far as what, like the physical, like taking the trash out,
cooking, cleaning, taking care of the child.
lady. Well, I take care of the child too. I'm a very present, hands-on father. So we
she
split
handles
that.
all the cooking and cleaning in the house.
Yes, but not as much as you would think, Katie, because I buy these all already prepped meals. I'm in the gym and I track my macros and stuff. So I buy these meals that's already prepped where she doesn't have to cook for me as much. But as far as cleaning, I feel like we split that. I'm a very clean person. I clean the house. I wash the children. I do men work around the house. Sometimes I hate to admit it, but sometimes she's a little more skilled to me as far as certain labor aspects, so she might do it. But nonetheless, I'm there. But I just feel like as far as responsibilities, I feel like, it doesn't need to be split, but I mean, you can take on a few responsibilities. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Do you think that a woman brings value to your life outside of labor, like status? Does she bring status to your life by being with you?
Yeah.
So that is what she's bringing is status, and then she's taking care of the house. So I'm not advocating for whatever split. I'm just saying whatever works for you works for you. However, if you are approaching someone that, say, is like, I've built all this for myself and this is what I require, and then you're getting mad that somebody is rejecting you because, let's say, for example, say I want someone to come into my life and make my life easier, and I already do all of this for myself, so
Right.
I would like you to do X, Y, Z, and you get mad because that doesn't work for you and you're a stuck-up bitch, right?
Okay.
There's a person for everyone, for every kind of dynamic that you could possibly want. I personally think that I bring so much value to a table that I don't need to justify like what kind of partner I want.
Now, I agree, Katie, because I'm an advocate of having a benchmark, setting standards.
Okay.
But sometimes, not you in per se, but as people, we can get out of touch with reality.
Okay.
It's never going to be 100% checklist, Katie. Somebody, I forgot who said it, but I remember reading this book. They were saying like the 80-20 rule. Like if a person checks off 80%, then
Right.
that should be more than enough. I mean, 100%,
Right.
Katie. I mean, nobody's not gonna check off every checklist,
Sure.
every single dot. You don't check off every single dot, but if you're checking off 75 to 80%, then you know that's feasible, right? How do you feel about it? Is that am I right?
No, I definitely think that there is not a perfect person, and I think that there is a little bit of out of touch with reality as far as expectations for some people. And a lot of that comes down to self-awareness and like emotional intelligence, right? Where am I? Like a true self-audit of where am I and what am I bringing to a relationship? You know, am I just a pretty face or am I a liability or like whatever? My take on it is probably different than a lot of people that might just want more of an entitled route of I didn't do anything or I didn't work, and I don't know. It's different for everyone. I just I know what I expect and what I require, and that might not be something that men agree with.
I got you. So what's a way that you just irks your nerves that you can't stand how a man to approach you? Like what is the completely wrong way to approach Katie Logan?
Catcalling.
So like, hey girl with the tattoos, fine, big butt, what's up? Like you hate that.
Yes.
So what is an appropriate way that will increase the probability of a man having a shot?
A respectful approach. Just, you know, you don't gotta call me like an animal across the street like you're calling a.
But what if he can't get to you? What if you're on your mission, you're going, he can't? It's the only way to get your attention is hey, because he can't walk up to you. You're walking so fast, you're a distance.
It's just gonna turn me like you better run or something.
I gotta run, Katie.
You better hightail it.
Yeah,
You know?
but then he can't convey what he want to convey because he's out of breath. He's sweating bullets. He gonna be looking
I would
crazy.
be like,
but then, guys, y'all heard that? Hey, there you go. I'll put y'all on point.
It's better than calling me across the street like, "Hey, come here." Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stab you.
But honest, Katie, like if a dude is actually running out of breath, one thought though, be real, keep it a buck. Now you won't be like, this guy's too desperate because. That can be assumed too, like,
you
this guy's
know,
desperate
it's a
as hell.
risk. It's a 50-50 chance.
50-50 chance?
I might get the ick if you're sweating and out of breath.
See, that's crazy. We cannot win, man. The women, that's awesome, man. Well, at least you're honest. All right, so what do you think men misunderstand about a woman of your caliber?
What do they misunderstand?
Mm-hmm.
That it's constant work to be in a relationship with a very independent, hyper-independent woman that is somebody that likes to constantly be striving for more. We're always going to be requiring more from you too. So like if you meet me where I'm at here, I'm still going to be climbing and I need you to still be climbing like as a partner. Yeah, so if you come in here and then you're staying here, I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. And if you don't keep going, I'm going to leave you behind. Like I need somebody that's on the same level as me. Or like wants to grow or wants to put me on to growth and keep building with me. Yeah. And a lot of people, men and women, get complacent in relationships and they abandon their own goals and then they just kind of sabotage each other.
Yeah. So constant state of elevation.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. I'm always for that. I hate when people feel like they had enough, like their cup is full and no more. It's like, no, man, it's always room for growth. Have the growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset.
Right.
Because I feel like that's when you really die. That's when you really have come to the end of your tunnel, when you feel like there's no more to be learned. And I feel like that's false, because there's always room to learn more.
Right.
But it's discretionary. It's all depending on your approach and your personal paradigm. But me personally, I always feel like there's room for growth. And I actually, when I was in prison, I never forget, there was a guy in there. He was like 77, 78 years old. And Katie, this guy was phenomenal. I'm talking about doing burpees, jogging, doing push-ups, pull-ups, in great shape. He can really pass for like late 40s. That's how great he looked. But his mind was still sharp. And his articulation skills were on point. He spoke with like such diction, all the above, right? And I asked him, I said, man, what's the secret, man? Like, are you able to maintain like this? And he said, you know what, Mo? Honestly, I never stop learning. I'm never complacent. I'm always willing to grow.
Yes.
I don't give a damn if I'm 90 years old. I don't know everything. I haven't seen everything in the sun. And he also said, just because I'm younger than him, that doesn't mean he couldn't learn from me. He never was not too good to learn from somebody that was, 2-3 times their junior. He never cared about that. He always gave a person an opportunity. Now, if you're talking bullshit, you know what I mean?
Right.
He'll sift it out, but he'll give you the opportunity. It's up to you, you know what I mean, to prove yourself worthy. So I highly agree with you with that. Like, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, always be in a state of constant elevation. Never get complacent with your development, because there's always room for growth. And in that growth is beauty in that growth. And, you know, like as Katie alluded to, if you have a significant other, like, you know, grow with that person. Don't get left behind, because I know you can attest to this. Is it not love? Oh, this is great. And that's kind of off the cuff. This is not on the card, but I do want to talk about this. Is it not love, or is it conditional if you say you love somebody unconditionally, but that person wants to perpetually remain stagnant and you're perpetually ascending and they're becoming an anchor, but you love this person. You guys have great memories together, awesome chemistry, synergy, may have a kid or two together, right? But they just don't want to grow anymore. They don't want to blossom. And if you leave them, are you wrong? Do you feel like that's wrong? Is that not love? Like, how do you feel about that?
You can still love someone and let them go. If you can't keep someone around that's contributing to like drowning. You can't be unequally yoked. You can't constantly be with somebody that's stagnant and in my opinion, maybe some people that's fine for them and they'll just stay together in that place.
Yeah.
I don't think there's something that's unconditional unless it's a child to a parent. When it comes to partners, there's conditions to love. I mean, I wouldn't say that unconditional love is a thing, because there's always conditions, right? I love you until you do this, you know, or I love you, and then you've changed as a person, and now like it's not unconditional. So I do believe that if your partner isn't willing to make change and you've given it your all, you've really tried, that sometimes it's just for that chapter of your life that they were there for, and there's somebody else out there for you.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, Katie. I like that. I never myself articulated the way you just stated it, but now that you say it, it's clicking in my head. It's right. Like, there are conditions. There are conditions, because it's all love until this happens. And it's vice versa.
Right.
You know? Now, I do believe that if you really love somebody, because love, in my book, I don't know your personal definition, but love is sacrifices, tolerating, accepting, you know, to every rule is an exception type of vibe. I mean, like we just alluded, nobody's perfect, but dealing with somebody's imperfections and making the most out of it and understanding and just sacrificing a little bit of your peace and your happiness. But there, as humans, there is a line that has to be drawn in the sand. It's like our peace, Katie, and I say this all the time, and I'm gonna say it again, that our peace is our birthright. Yes. That is one thing that we are entitled to. If somebody disturbs or tampers with that peace, they have to be cut off. Yes. And that's anybody. 100%. That's even our own kids to an extent. When they're adolescent, you know, you have to deal with it. But as an adult, when they turn that adult 18 and up, I don't give a damn. Yeah. You're not gonna disturb my peace, because this is my peace, and I'm dying with my peace. At the end of the day, we were all born alone, unless you was a twin. But even that, you got your own breath, you got your own life. Like, you disturb my peace, man. Like, I have to respectfully remove myself from you. Right. So I definitely agree with you wholeheartedly with that. So, well said. All right, so how do you use everything you've experienced, the discipline, the pain, the purpose, to help others grow and evolve?
I'm constantly trying to build up those around me or those in my circle. If I have an insight or something that I can contribute to your life to help make you a better person, I will do it. If it gets to the point, if I feel like I'm constantly trying to help you and you're not to the point of reception, or you just you don't want the help, you just want to be heard, then I'm gonna copy. Like, we're gonna let that go. But I've always been in this mode where I just want to put on people to like rise up with me, whatever way I can, whether that be from my life experiences, financial, personal, emotional, spiritual, like whatever I can do as your friend, as like even if it's like a colleague or an associate, like, hey, you have this problem. Like, I want to problem solve. I want to help you succeed and grow. And only do it a little bit before, if it's not received well, then I'm like, okay, got it.
Understood.
Not everybody is
receptive to
the
the advice. And then and also to add to that, Kate, not everybody's deserving.
True.
I mean, your time and energy and the value that you possess, not everybody's privy to that, because not everybody's going to appreciate it.
Right.
And you know what? A guy told me, not to get off cuff, a guy took a liking to me and he gave me value. And this is so true, I want to say, Katie, and you can take it however you want, take it with you. It's practical advice. But he said, Mo, I like you so much and I want to give you this game, but I have to charge you. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the? What do you mean say I have to charge you? Because it's just natural human right, human emotion. Like, when you give somebody something for free, they don't appreciate it.
No.
They take it for granted because they got it free. It was no skin in the game. It wasn't nothing earned. It was no sacrifice involved of obtaining what it is that you gave them. But when you charge them, in some cases it might be a premium, but it doesn't have to be. But if you charge them, it's like, you've given me some blood, sweat, and tears to afford this wisdom and this game, this practical knowledge that I'm giving you to fortify your future. You appreciate it more. And that is very, very true. Because I found myself not really appreciating this game the first time he gave it to me for free. Because I didn't mention that at first. But the second time where I had to pay, it's like, I took it a little more serious. I did. I took it serious. Like, you know what? Nah, I paid for this, man. I'm not about to let this go to the wayside. So this is something to be mindful for. Like, as we helping people grow and evolve, we can. Because you want to give value without necessarily always being some monetary gain involved. But, I'm a big, firm believer in, like, never giving too much without compensation. At least it doesn't have to be monetary, but something in return. Because people will take it for granted. And then it makes you even more pissed when you cash your pearls among swine, Katie, and they don't even fucking use it.
Yes.
How would that make you feel? Like, does you like,
No,
what the fuck?
definitely.
I just wasted my time. Like, what the fuck are you going to use that knowledge or what? I could have saved it and gave it to somebody else or just kept quiet. So that's just something to keep in the hat. Okay. So you're also in the real estate, right?
Yes.
So how do you help people in real estate? Like, elaborate on that.
Yeah, so I'm doing residential real estate, but I help first-time homeowners, second-time, whatever your needs are in the residential real estate, I will help you navigate the sales process. And I'm not a pushy salesperson. I'm here to facilitate a transaction. So I want to make sure you get to the finish line. I'm not greedy in the sense of like, I need to be a top producer, or not that that's greedy, but that is not my MO when it comes to real estate. It is quality over quantity. And I want to make sure that everybody that I work with, their needs are met, they feel seen, they feel facilitated, and that everything goes through perfectly. So I've been doing it for 4 years now, and I love it. It's a new career that I started once I moved out to Florida, but it's always been in me. It's something I wanted to do. I just hadn't been in the right place.
Awesome. And in particular, like, do you help the buyer with comps, like history of the house?
Yeah,
roof,
all
like,
that. Yeah. So when someone's shopping and it's like, hey, I want this house. I want to look at this house. And we're going to look up and pull up all the comparables, see if it's priced right, see what we can negotiate. A lot of things come up after inspection as far as negotiations.
Gotcha.
But making sure you put in a competitive offer and making sure they're properly represented and you're negotiating for them like they're your family, like there's somebody you love, like you're buying your own house. Like that is how I treat the transaction. Is I care a lot.
Got you.
Probably sometimes too much.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. No, awesome to hear. So what is your standpoint right now as far as buying houses right now? Is it a good time to buy, sell? Like,
yeah, so it's a buyer's market right now. So buyers are getting a lot of closing credits, and the interest rates have gone down. This is the biggest cut that there has been in a while. I don't foresee a massive cut. Like, people keep waiting for a severe interest rate drop, and I don't think, unless the economy completely crashes, that that's something that's feasible. So right now is a really good time if you are a buyer to buy a house, because you're going to
Gotcha.
get the best price. You're going to get negotiations on your closing costs. If you're a seller, you're going to be sitting on the market a little bit longer right now, and you're going to be paying more to the buyers. That's just, it's not a very balanced market right now. It's definitely a buyer's market.
Got you. Appreciate you for sharing that. All right, so what's one piece of advice you'll give to women learning how to lead without losing their softness?
Learning how to lead without losing your softness. I guess just be authentically yourself, and do an audit of your behaviors, I suppose. Like, at the end, if you feel like you're starting to get too defensive or like uptight and everything in your workplace, like, okay, is this a good fit for me? Is it pushing me into a super masculine role? Am I able to recover from that? Do I have a good balance on the outside of work? Like, say you work in a super dominant career field where you can't be soft.
Yeah.
Do you have a balance outside of there? Do you go get dressed up and go out and get cute and go get dinners and drinks and do girly stuff? You go into the spa. Are you doing things to balance it out?
Got you.
If you don't have a balance to it, you might find yourself kind of spiraling down to where you're not so soft anymore.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in.
And I feel like that's important too, because I feel like an excessive amount of anything is detrimental. If you're in a predominantly male-ran, high masculine environment, sometimes it can be overwhelming. Like, you feel like you always got to be this, and you don't.
Right.
And then you take it home with you, and then you treat people on the outside that's not associated with that environment the way that you accustomed to treating people in that environment. It's like you're seen as the snobby bitch or the mean person or the uptight, and it can ruin relationships. That can like, that's a part of emotional intelligence, though. Social talents and having empathy. So that's very important. I just wanted to ask that question because, I've had other women that are in environments where, it's predominantly male ran, and I love to ask that question because I just feel like it's so amazing. Like, prime example for the female bodybuilders, I feel like it's just so astonishing where a woman can build her body to that point.
Right.
And an exterior be masculine, but still have her feet done, nails done, have her hair done, have her makeup, and still be a woman.
Yes.
And not get it misconstrued. Like, hey, I'm still a lady, I'm still feminine, I can carry, I can bear life. I just, I chose, this is my passion. So I definitely like that you clarified that. And I love how you say, like, supplant it might not be actually in that environment, but go to the spot, be with some girlfriends, talk stuff, sip a little wine, and, do little girly, goofy stuff outside of your comfort zone to give you that balance. And then when you're back at work, put your A-face back on, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for sharing that to all the women. All the women, take heed to all the game is Katie giving out now. All right, so if your journey had a title, what would it be and why?
I'd have to think on that one.
Yeah, think about it. Think about it. All the stuff you've been through. I'm talking about military, modeling, real estate, the farm, like anything, like men, like all that. Just combine it all and just, give it a title. And why would it be called what it is that you're about to name it?
You threw me off with that one.
I threw it off with you? I threw it off? Okay, all right.
I'm drawing a blank on that one.
All right, so let me see if I can help you a little bit. I'm going to say determination. You don't have to necessarily use it, but something like that. And I say why is because in all your fields, you were determined to just be a top dog, a go-getter. And you never wanted to be seen as a sympathy case or because I'm a woman that, hey, you got to be, no. Because your beauty calls that, naturally somebody, and there's no disrespect to women that's not as beautiful. It's just like when you on the broad spectrum, what's beauty and attractive and non-attractive, it's just a general spectrum. Yeah, you're not everybody's type, but I'm pretty sure out of 100 guys, 80 guys are going to be attracted to you. You might be 20 and say, nah, she's not my type, but 80 is far more than the majority, right? Sure. So with that being said, it's like determination, no matter what you're encountering, no matter how challenging it is, I'm determined to prevail. Right. So you don't necessarily have to use determination, but something in that realm. So did I get any juices flowing? Or?
Yeah, I like that.
You like determination?
Yeah.
So you explain to me why. So I explain to you my why.
Yeah.
But I'm not Katie. I want you to tell me.
I mean, I've been faced so many times with, okay, like I could throw in the towel now, or, this isn't working out or whatever. And I'm just always going to see it through. I'm very determined, whether that be taking on a new school or a new trade or whatever I have to do to figure out what's the next move, I will figure out a way out of the corner. Nice. So I've never just given up or rolled over and be like, it didn't work out. I mean, some things don't work out obviously, but I don't go around telling.
For sure. Yeah. But isn't that life though, Kay? Isn't it so beautiful? I just made a post on my stories, life is gonna life. It doesn't matter, because people think, and me, I read a plethora of books, but people think you read a plethora of books or you have this mindset shift or you have your emotions intact that adversity is gonna stop calling. No, adversity is gonna continue to come.
Handle it better.
Handle it better. But I appreciate it because it's like when you were on your tours, it's battle tested. I know I'm battle tested. I've been in prison. I've dealt with a lot of things that you can not possibly imagine that I've inside and out. And I have, handled it fairly well. I'm still standing with the same mind, with a great spirit. I still treat people as I want to be treated. I have a great look on life and I love people. The average person, if not fortified in their emotions, it could have consumed them and they wouldn't be such a people where they would hate people, hate law enforcement, have a disdain towards law enforcement or women, whatever the case may be. I don't, because I didn't let it consume me. I understand life is going to life. It's up to me as a responsible adult, a man, conscious man at that, to handle it according to my benefit, right? So with that being said, give us a time, because this is the P.A.S.S podcast, give us a time where you personally had to prevail against self-sabotage, because I believe everybody has faced a self-sabotaging moment. Give us one, and how did you prevail against it?
The first thing that comes to mind is being faced with, I was living in Colorado before I moved here.
Okay.
And my last relationship ended, and I was like, okay, I'm giving the opportunity right now to just kind of sit here and wallow and be like, oh, life just ended as I know it right here. Or get up, figure it out, and move on. So I started aggressively planning for what do I want out of my life, because the last 2 years before that, I was planning around someone else's life and our life together. So I was doing a truthful audit of what do you want out of life, because you've been living for somebody else and you've been putting too much of your energy in these buckets. And I could have just stayed there and been stagnant and, wallowed in self-pity and whatever. But I chose to pick a new place to live, start over in a new city that I've never been to, where I don't know anybody, pick a new apartment, get a new job, move across the country by myself, pack everything up, just get over it, rip the Band-Aid off and go. And that was a huge pivotal point in my life with growth, because you're now making all these decisions for yourself and you're not consulting with someone else or making it in regards to them. And before that, I was in a relationship as well. So this was the first moment in my life that I was making all decisions for me, and it was after a pretty traumatic event. So I had a turning point of what are you going to do?
Okay, I love that. Appreciate you for sharing that. So in conclusion, when life gets tough, Katie, what is a reminder that keeps you intact to be built, never broken?
You've gotten through 100% of your bad days. You'll keep getting through them.
That's what's up. I love that. All right, so we want to know what's in store, any offers, any projects, any services you have to provide the audience. What's next for Katie Logan? Give out your social media handles where they can contact you if anybody's interested in buying a home in the Tampa Bay area. Where can they find you at? What's the most convenient way of reaching out to you? I want you to look in that camera and leave us out with a bang. With some encouraging words to not just women, but anybody that may resonate with you. Leave us with some encouraging words too.
Yeah, of course. So on Instagram, I am at the Katie Logan and Katie Logan Realtor. If you need any buying or selling help in the Tampa Bay area, I also have t-shirts for sale, which directly support, they don't support. They are U.S. Air Force modern pinup girl shirts that are a symbolism of me, and it's honoring the women in the military that have served and are still serving. And those are for sale on my Instagram. The link is in the bio. And if I could leave you with anything, just be yourself, stand on your boundaries, stand on business, and keep getting after it.
Hey, man, you heard him from the amazing, phenomenal woman herself, Katie Logan. Appreciate you, family, for tuning in to another incredible episode. It's an honor and pleasure to be able to serve you guys. Special thanks again to my sponsors, Project Icon, for making this possibility. And you already know, baby, P.A.S.S. Prevail against self-sabotage. You are your best friend, but you are also your own worst enemy. Do not kick self in the stomach. Life is already hard. Until next time, I see you soon.
Yeah, I just wanna make it out for the times that we ain't have it. I just wanna make it out for
The thing is, your perception of me is completely on you. If you perceive me to be sexy, I could be wearing a burlap sack and you could still think I'm sexy.
True.
So your perception of me is none of my business. I will bring things to a certain level of class, right? I'm not going to do something super risque or provocative, purposely soliciting for a certain kind of attention. But when I do things specifically classy, if you find that sexy, of course, like I'm a good looking woman. I don't have to do anything extra, if that makes sense. I won't dim myself down, but I also won't go out of my way to solicit negative attention.